Sometimes I spend it full days just starting at the city, doing nothing in particular. And yet, talking about the random thoughts and come to mind, however small or trivial, no serious, feels oddly freeing. There is something is refreshing about simply saying what I am thinking is without needing a reason. Do you like art museums? For me, it's not just the artwork, it's the space itself that draws me. When I stand in front of a piece of art, something stirred inside me. It reminds me how I want to live, to feel, to be moved, to be alive. When I think, what if I died tomorrow? I sometimes start to laugh, not out of fear, but from a strange sense of cruelty. There's as much art as there are people in the world, and each of us has our own way of seeing it. That's the beauty of our thinkings. It helps us to find your own answers by looking through our own lens. Art let us let go of the need to find meanings. Instead, we connected with artists' realism, movement, intuitions. This kind of appreciation is deeply personal and surprisingly rare. Seeing things your own way sounds simple, but it's harder than it seems. Still, it's worth practicing. What do you see? What do you feel? In a world full of right answers, it's easy to default to logic, facts, and explanations, but the most meaningful insights often come from original perspective, from people who trust their own ways of seeing. As adults, we are quick to read labels, summarize it, and we think that's enough. But real appreciation takes time. It requires presence and focus and openness, not a search for the correct interpretation, but a willingness to truly experience. Today's more than ever, we are asked to find our own answers, to view art in our own way. For me, the journey begins with painting what I see around me. I paint the Tokyo I know, the one that still lived inside me, filled with both the present and the nostalgic past. As a child, I spent time in a part of a city that now lies beneath today's surface. It always had a quiet, slightly lonely air. Even after I moved, I would return each season to visit family, but each time another building had disappeared. One day, a whole block was gone. I dropped it to my knee in shock, trying to recall the every details of what used to be there. Tokyo, I could never fully share with anyone. The Tokyo I painted is a double image, part memory, part reality. To truly appreciate the art, We need to strip away the rubble. The first step is running to see without namings, to look at the flower, for example, not as a flower, but a shape, texture, color, and form. When we forget what is painted, we begin to notice how it's painted, whether the brush began, where it ended, what kind of a brush was used, and the energy that flowed through the artist's hand. Through this process, we start to glimpse the artist's mind, even their unconscious. That's a real joy of looking at art connecting with something deeper than word. I love the space of museums, atmosphere itself. I'm happy if I find even just one piece that moves me. It doesn't have to be by a favorite artist. Sometimes I just like one particular paintings or a certain period of someone's work. It's not always clear why, it's just a feeling. I never studied art history seriously. I never tried to memorize the facts or timelines. I just want to feel it. That's enough to bask in it. Of course, learning more can add another layer of enjoyment, but everyone can appreciate art in their own way. Artificial intelligence is widely expected to develop in the future, both in the utilization of big data and in advancement of AI technology based on brain science, and the fusion of information science and the brain science is expected. Let me give you some example of what kind of development is expected in each field. Development of AI is likely to lead to decrease in crime because crime prevention and surveillance will be enhanced. Any suspicious person can be detected immediately. We are currently in the midst of the third AI boom, and there is a lot of development of AI in terms of machine learnings and deep learnings. In the future, AI will be able to learn by collecting data and finding rules by itself. The evolving impact of AI on society, creativity, and human cognitives. While concerned and persisted about AI's potential, displaced human labor. Its transformative potential across sectors suggests a net creation of new employment opportunities. AI is posed to significantly enhance productivities, address labor shortage, and contribute to advancement in public safety, healthcare, education, disaster responses, and beyond. Experts also anticipated the arrival of the singularity, theoretical points at which AI surpasses human intelligence, ushering the tandem, guide an analytically different post 2045 world. In manufacturing, logistics, motion learning will dramatically improve machine performance and operational efficiency. AI is also set to strengthen cybersecurity and revolutionize simulation technologies. In medicine, personalized high-level healthcare will become achievable. While in education, AI-powered tutors teaches the robots will derive individualized instruction informed by real-time cognitive data, potentially supporting multilingual capabilities. In a dam, king queen of disaster, preparedness. Ready something happen disaster. AI will enable real-time evacuation, guidance, and multilingual emergency translations, potentially mitigated the damage as caused by large-scale catastrophe. Emotion awareness, marketing that intelligent customer service bot, and AI driving business optimization will enhance user satisfaction and reduce operational cost. It feels like nursing and elder care, particularly vital in aging society. AI and robot will ease the physical burden of human caregivers. Precision agriculture's smart fisheries and accelerated crop development are also anticipated as it the deeper integrations of real virtual environment. Spurred and spurred by the pandemic's acceleration of virtual interaction. Historically, technology and art have evolved in parallel. Today, the emergence of generative AI challenges the notion of human creativity while simultaneously expanding the artist toolkit. Digital space now offers data as a medium, allowing artists to construct new aesthetics as paradigms, avatars, and dreams like landscapes, untethered the reset free from traditional constraints like gender or ethnicity. Yet, at the heart of this artistic evolution lies an enduring concern with existential and ethical questions, historical context, environmental crisis, and diversity. Collaborations between artists and machines are yielding the immersive, emotionally resonant experience that blend loves, awe, fear, and empathy. These works, situated at the intersections of physical and virtual space, prompt reflections on human technology relationships and encouraged us to reimagine life on an uncertain future. Technology's AI's capabilities have advanced at an extraordinary pace over the past 7 decades. With access to vast data sets, AI can now duplicate human-like decision-making with specific domains, challenges long-held assumptions about what tasks required human intelligence. The prospect of AI performing the uniquely human function previously inconceivable is first becoming the reality. Advantage of the AI included alleviating labor shortages, especially in caregiving and other essential services, significantly boosting productivity, reducing errors and accidents through consistent and fatigue-free judgment, and enables cost reduction via automation. AI system can operate it around the clock, improving business efficiency and customer satisfaction through smart recommendation and responsive chatbot. However, these gains are counterbalanced by legitimate allowed constitution permit concerns. The displacement of human work is ambiguous legal responsibility for AI caused harm, privacy risk due to mass data processing, the threat, AI and military applications, and the vulnerability weak, easily hard of AI system to cyber attacks. These risks underscores urgent need for robust regulation and ethical frameworks. Critics have warned that excessive reliance on AI might dull human cognitive abilities. Yet, when applied thoroughly, AI could augment learning, stimulate innovation, and drive economic growth. As we approach singularity, it's crucial to cultivate AI literacy and foster environment that support responsible use. Parallel to this society's shift, we must not neglect the working of our own mind, brain ability to recall, and consciously edit memory as essential to maintaining intellectual vitality. Short-term memory, often correlated with intelligence, functioned by projecting the real-time data onto the frontal lobe, our cognitive control center. This capacity enables individuals to structure coherent thoughts and decisions. Stored memories are of little value unless they actively retrieved and integrated into present experiences. Signs of diminished memory recall such as excessive routines, lack of anxiety, often linked to novelty. Habitual, typical characteristic, acquaintances, acquaintances, or loss of curiosity may indicate stagnating the stops the brain. Fortunately, memory recall can be trained. Attempting to remember, even when unsuccessfully, stimulated neural pathways and enhancing long-term brain health. Both unconscious default mode network and conscious front lobe driving recall mechanisms play vital role in memory consolidations, reinforcing importance of introspection and cognitive effort. As AI continue to evolve, change and develop, data around its societal implication intensifies, while job displacement as a common fear. Some optimistic foresees a future where AI liberates humans from the human mundane work, allowing for the definitions of productivity, creativity, and purpose. The hallmark, typically future of a human being is to play, even as adult. This created a new world and running continues. People who do good work in business often play a lot. If AI evolves to the point where there is no longer anything for humans to do as work, then we can pass the time by playing thoroughly. There is no need to feel guilty. By playing, we can learn and change the world. Play is another way of saying game. To put it another way, in the post-AI world, people will only need to play games all the time. I really want to is live peace-free, but it feels like someone always ends up disliking me. At work, I sometimes feel like my only talent is loving the people the wrong way. It's been that way since I was a kid. I care too much about how others see me. Even the smallest shift in someone's attitude that sticks with me. And I end up overthinking that for hours. I know it's impossible to be liked by everyone, but I cannot help but wish I could just avoid the people who treat me like I'm a problem. I try to be carefree and polite, always smiling and keeping things right. My friends says I'm gentle, easygoing, and kind, but in workspaces, this often backfires. I struggle to assert fact believe in myself, and that sometimes that makes me an easy target. The kind of person others that think they can mistreat. I admit it when I make mistakes, but once a relationship at work breaks down, it's hard to rebuild. I've even experienced power harassment in the past, which caused me so much stress that I lost hearing in one ear. I was told I couldn't follow the instruction, and honestly, sometimes I cannot. I suspected I may have developmental disorders. It often takes me longer to understand the things, especially in fast-paced environment where others seem to just get it. That said, not everything is negative. I do have a few kind colleagues and we chat from time to time. I know I have allies, but these past weeks have been especially hard. To separate issues comes up and they really run me down. I've been at this job for 10 years and I've never had so many problems in such a short span of time. It makes me wonder, are there others like me who just don't seem cut out for this kind of social life? Even though I keep showing up, going to work, studies, and thinking about my futures, and constantly talking about careers, jobs, and education for those things. I've heard it's all before, and frankly, I'm tired of it. But there is one thing that keeps me going: it's a Pokemon. This little creature from grass, fire, water, land, sea, and sky made their joy. I train them, they watch them grow, and help them fight to win battle. And in some small way, it reminds me that I can keep going too. Well, I'll take another look around the gallery. Let's get back to art. One of the most eyes-opening things about art is realizing just how differently people can look at the same images. What one person notices right way, another might completely miss that. That's fascinating. Those who are throughout those who truly skilled at viewing art seems to see everything at once without overlooking a single detail. The first step is appreciation art is learning to slow down and really see, to notice piece by piece and information that each artwork offers. Over time, this sharpens my power observations with consistent practice. Even just 6 months to a year of engaging with art, I start to naturally pick up on more details. I began to read a work of art, not just with my eyes, but with my imaginations. This act of observation becomes a gateway to imaginations. As I read more closely, I start to wonder what was the other thinkings, what time and place was this created in, what feelings were behind each brushstroke. The process invited me to imagine the scenes and the stories, deepen my connection with the work. Imagination, like any skills, can be trained. The more you practice, the clearer and the more vivid your inner images becomes. That's when thoughts becomes a reality, or more precisely, vivid imaging is a start to shape how we understand the world. Art appreciation also strengthens our analytical thinking. When we break it our painting down by color, composition, brushworks, subject, and symbolisms, we begin understand the choice that artists make. I notice patterns that form my own interpretations and ask better questions. It's a practice and seeing the detail because, as I say, God is in the details, and through those details, we gain the insight. In the end, good analysis and good insights start with good observation. And the quality of what we take in, our input, determine the quality of what we can express. That's why when I learn to really see art, I am not just becoming a better viewer, I'm becoming a better thinker. Whether it's playing on the piano, sculpting with clay, and learning to dance, engaging in an art activity, so many parts of what it means to be a human. Through artistic practice, I developed not just physical skills like coordinate, strength, and grace, but also inner quality like practice, persistence, and focus. Art making taps into my creativity and problem solving instinct. It's shaping my perceptions, define how I see the world, and give me ways to express feelings and ideas can't always be put into words. Emotion that emerge as a symbolisms and movements of form. Art can also expand my sense of empathy and deepen my understanding of others. In short, creating art helps me become a more full and maybe even more grounded and mentally well. There are many meaningful purposes that art can serve. Not every work of art needs to fulfill all of them. Some might exist for beauty alone, others to provoke, to comfort, or to reflect a cultural moment. Each purpose is valid on its own right. Beyond those intrinsic variables interesting value, the art also offers broader benefit. They build a community, open up new perspectives, helps us understand the people we might never have connected with otherwise. They spark joy, wonder, and sometimes as transformations. Art reminds us that no resto can ever fully contain what it offers. Its potential is limitless, always growing, always shifting, and perhaps that's the greatest gift of all. Suddenly, they are on our radio screens, visible instead of invisible. The art can serve as an inviting doorways into a culture much like food does, offering a way on that end non-threatening and deeply engaging. But the true beauty of art lies in its versatilities. Difference it can have a wide array of function, each serving a distinct purpose, whether intrinsic or extrinsic, primary or secondary. The question lies, shouldn't we assess the value of art based on its intended purpose? For example, a piece of art meant to empower or uplift may not be judged by the same standard as one designed to evoke transcendences, go beyond the boundary, or community connection. The criteria for success may differ greatly depending on whether the goal is to foster creative expressions, spark introspection, or inspire social change. Some art calls for analysis of skill and technique, while others require a closer look at the process or relationships they build. Painting meant to build community might be best evaluated not by its finished product, but by engagement and fostered during its creation. Similarly, an artwork that aims to transcend the everyday may invite a different expectation from one that is simply meant to comfort or provide aesthetic pleasures. No free understanding this various purpose is often at the root of many misunderstandings and divisions and how we approach it and judge art. If we can clearly articulate the goals behind a piece, we can assess it as success in a more relevant, fair, and insightful way. So, what makes a work of art great? It's more than just a technical aspect. It's about how resonated with us, how it makes us pause and reflect. Does it evoke his emotional response? Does it challenge us to see the world differently, offering a fresh perspective or deeper insight? The greatness of the piece mind lies on its scale. It's innovative or passionate to convey. Continue to captivate upon repeated encounters? Does it inspire, provoke new thoughts even after time has passed? Does it awaken something with us emotionally, creatively, intellectually? Ultimately, we may like a work for many reasons because it distributes us, comforts us, or simply because we find it pleasing. Maybe it aligns with our personal taste, or perhaps speaks to us because of the artist intended or our connection with their story. The truth is, art is deeply subject. What makes art valuable or worthy of recognition that can be sharpened by manufacture, including marketing, the promotion, and the context in which it is presented. In fact, artists like Goho, whose work wasn't celebrated in his lifetime, now commanded millions on the art market largely due to how the art world has evolved on the terms of recognition and brandings. While there are universal principles that define the object value of art, such as unity, wealth, composition aligned with the intended message, the subjective nature of art means its true worth is always a complex interplay of intent, perception, and context. In the end, art is not just about following rules or technical mastery. It's about the power, style, emotion, the provoking thoughts, and the change perspective, and perhaps just as important traits about how art is shared and promoted in the world, for without the visibility, even the most finely crafted work might go unnoticed. Good art is valuable because it teaches us something. The knowledge we gain and the new perspective we encounter leaves us enriched, ensuring we never regretted having experienced it. When an artist successfully communicates their message, they've done their job, and we can appreciate the achievement. However, there's also a question of craftsmanship. Some artists are exceptionally talented with their hands, creating works that are unique and impactful. Ultimately, it's the blend of the artist's skills, vision, message, and determines whether art will move us or not. But great art is more than just aesthetically pleasing. It's effective. It's something that stays with us and leaves us more aware than we were before it, with eyes wide open. While art is highly subjective, what appeals to one person may not resonate with another. It's also examined through a more critical lens in a world of art discourse, which included artists, historians, critics, and curators. Key questions in evaluating art often included how well does it merge influence from the past while presenting a fresh perspectives? Does it push the boundaries of art makings and open new doors for future works? How does it work across genre, particular type of literature, painting, music, film, and art form, which people consider as a class because it has special characters and challenges our expectation in a surprising way? Defining what makes art great can vary depending on taste and cultural background, but some common factors often contribute to its greatness. Art is more than the visual experience. It's reflection of the human condition, a vessel of emotion, and catalyst for imagination. Great art often stands out through its originality, technical skill, emotional depth, cultural relevance, and lasting impact. It challenges us, moves us, and at times it transforms us. Beyond assessing what makes art great or bad, the true magic of art lies in how it makes us feel, how it awakens our own creativity. Appreciating art isn't just about learning to analyze it, it's about reconnecting with expressive potential within each of us. When we encounter an artist's energy, their passion, vision, something that are inside us ignite. We start to see, feel things more deeply, and we begin to create ourselves. That's the power of art. It reminds us that we are all capable of being makers, thinkers, dreamers, capable of turning our thoughts, emotions into something meaningful. Great art combines originality, technical skills, emotion depth, and cultural relevance. It challenges norms, reflects its time, leaves lasting impressions. Most importantly, it captures something real and timeless about the human experience. While art is a subject, strong work tends to be skillful made, visually engaging, emotional resonant, intelligent, or stimulating, deeply personal. It invited us to think, feel, and imagine. Creative stories with rich input, thoughtful idea, deep observations, and attention to detail. The more we engage with a word and a language meaningfully, the more powerful and authentic our expression becomes. Expressive power isn't just about saying what you want. It's about channel the feelings of responding in the moment, transforming the emotion into form, whether through words, images, movement, or ideas. Art is concentrated expression. When we engage with it, we connect it to the artist's energy, and that awakens our own creativity. That spark might not explode like fireworks, but it burns steadily like a quiet blue flame, fueling us with purpose and vision. Art appreciation reminds us that we too are creators. Whether we are painting buildings, teachings, or dreamings, the more we connect it with art, more we discover creative force already living inside us.